Apologies, everyone. Sometimes traffic can be an absolute, you know what. Lateness is not greatness, but here I am. And without further ado, it's about time. The summit clash of the AFC Asian Cup here on the Coach's Corner. And you are welcome. Yes, people, the title says it all. In about 2 minutes, the match will begin, the AFC Asian Cup final between the host and defending champions Qatar and the relative complete outsiders Jordan, live from the Lusail Stadium in Qatar, which of course was host to the World Cup final only about 13 months ago. And I will, of course, start by giving you the team news. I just want to make sure that I have the right page, and the lineups here are right here, courtesy of the AFC Asia Cup official website, and I will just share this right now. So just trying to make sure that everything gets loaded. And the worst part about this ridiculous computer is that okay. Oops. And here are the lineups. So Jordan will be lining up with 3 defenders, 4 midfielders, and 3 forwards. So 3-4-3. Yazid Abdullah Nasib, Yassan Al Arab, Noor Rawabde, Ali Olwan, Musa Tamari, and Yazal Al Naimat are the 2 forwards to watch out for. Mahmoud Al Mardi, who scored a few goals in the tournament as well. Salam Al Ajalin, the number 17. Nizar Al Rajdan, the number 21. And Ehsan Haddad, the skipper, wearing number 23, is also in the midfield. So no starting place for Mohammed Abu Hashish, who has played a very pivotal role for the team, but he will be expected to come on later on. And Qatar will be starting with the number 22, Meshal Barsham, in goal. They also, from the looks of it, will be playing a 3-4-3 with 3 defenders, 4 midfielders, and 3 forwards. So Al Mahdi Ali and Mohamed Wad, Tariq Salman, Yusuf Abdurisag, Hassan Al Haydos, the captain, Akram Afif, one of the leading scorers, Lucas Mendes, Al Muaz Ali, another important player, Ahmed Fatih, of course, the namesake of the former Egyptian captain, Ahmed Fatih, and Jassim Gabba complete the lineup. And I want to make sure that, sadly, in the arrogance of Sports 18 over here in India, they decided that they would rather show coverage of the Indian Super League while providing coverage of the of part of the second half later on. And I will put out a banner condemning them. If you are unwilling to provide proper coverage, you shouldn't do it at all. Fortunately, I am able to watch it streaming now on my computer, and I can tell you that with the national anthems having already been played, the teams are now walking right out. I mean, they just shaking hands, and we will confirm the lineups right now. Hassan Amuta is, of course, the coach of Jordan, and he will be playing, as I said, Yazid Abulaida will be in goal. So 3 defenders, Salim Al-Arab and Nasib, 17, 5, and 3, respectively. Al-Mardi, Noor, Nizar, and Ehsan will be the 4-man midfield. Ehsan is, of course, the skipper. And Olwan, Yazan, and Al-Tamari will be the 3-man forward lineup. So quite a few people missing from the bench, but watch out for Abu Hashish, the number 2, who will be expected to come on and play a role later on. And we are seeing a snapshot of the beautiful Lusail Stadium. And the captains, Al Haydos and Haddad, are in the middle. And we will, of course, find out who the referee is. It looks as though it's Zhu Fei Zhangcheng from China, Tantashev from Uzbekistan, and Ma Ning is the referee for tonight. It looks as though the Uzbek will be the 4th official. We see Ehsan and Ihsan Haddad and Hassan Al-Haidar shaking hands. Fu Ming from China and Junpei Ida from Japan are the VAR officials. And we had some discussions about how VAR has worked brilliantly in this tournament, and there have been no controversies. Now to the Qatar team, Basham in goal, as expected, so no place for Saad Al-Sheib. Mendes, Mahdi, and Tarek are the three-man defense. Both teams, as I've said, playing looks as though it'll be a 3-5-2. Wad, Al-Haydas, Fatih, Jassim, and Yusuf are the midfielders, with Afif and Al-Moez Ali up front. And certainly looks to be a lineup where Qatar will hope to try to gain control of the midfield and then find ways to get to Afif and Al-Moez Ali up front, whereas Jordan will be hoping that their three-man front line will be able to get in behind the Qatar defense, which has been breached on more than a few occasions in this tournament. And Akram Afif there with his customized dreadlock look. We have the infant from FIFA in attendance tonight. And it looks as though Qatar will be starting the match. And I've got to... might have to put the streaming on mute because I can't really do a good job if I got the commentator in one ear, you see. But Qatar will be starting, and I want to try to make sure that I get the names of the players right. Afif is all the way out, and they've just kicked off right now. And so Qatar, of course, hoping to start an attack. It looks as though Wad is trying to pass it forward, but Jordan are able to take control of that. And it's the captain, Haddad, who passes it back to his defense. I believe that's the number 5, Yazan Al-Arab. And now it's Salem, the number 17, who sends it forward, hoping to start a Jordanian attack, but nothing doing. And could, Afif now on one of his breathtaking runs. Brilliant pass, which sort of split the defense in two. But the pass from Afif, hoping to find his captain Al-Haydas, wasn't really the best. Too far for the skipper, and that will be a goal kick for Jordan. Hussein Amuta is, of course, the head coach. And I'm just... and now, once again, we have another ridiculous issue with this computer of mine. But we got some comments in already. Chelsea fan in the building. Big up to you. Shame I can't watch the final in the UK. I do apologise for that. Shame on the BBC and the ITV for not even providing coverage. Even Channel 4 could have stepped up, for Pete's sake. And as always, a reminder to keep hitting the like button. Thank you very much indeed. So back to the stream, and we see that, and now this one is also hanging a little bit. I am grateful for my computer, but once it comes back on the television, I will be looking to watch it over there. I'll have to refresh because apparently it was paused. But it's ridiculous how these things seem to happen at the most inopportune of times. And now we've got advertisements as part of this whole thing. But at least Geo Cinema have stepped up with an opportunity to watch it on stream, even if Sports 18 have badly dropped the ball by not even bothering to consider it worthy of coverage. So I will definitely call them out, but don't you worry about that. But now back to the action, and looks as though Jordan have a free kick, a foul committed by Ahmed Fatih, the number 20 for Qatar. So, rather awkward-looking free kick. I don't know who's taking it. I'll find out who it is. It is Al-Tamari who's planning on taking it, and he might possibly look to curl it in with that big left foot of his. And, ooh, well, you could see there with that left foot, he was able to get some really good curve on that, but the height was too much. It curved too far, and that was never going to trouble Meshal Basham in the Qatar goal. So 3 minutes gone, Jordan 0, Qatar 0. And I do believe that many people in Palestine will be cheering for Jordan because one of the Jordanian players actually ended up copping a bit of a punishment for revealing support for Palestine underneath his shirt. And Jordan and Palestine, of course, have a very strong relationship. Palestine, of course, giving Qatar a lot of problems in their round of 16 clash before bravely going down 2-1. But like other teams in this tournament, they've earned a great deal of admirers. Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and of course Jordan, who are in their first final tonight. And here is a throw in now for Qatar, who are of course playing in their main strip of maroon, while Jordan are in all white. And I'm not sure why Qatar would be considered the away team, but then that's the draw for you. So obviously, because I'm watching it on my PC streaming, I am unable to actually check the comments immediately. And obviously, this computer being old and rickety as it is, it's not really helpful in that regard. But some pressure from Jordan, Qatar rather, but Jordan are able to mop that up, but not really clearing their lines effectively. And now Jordan have a chance. But ball hoping to find Afif is cut out, and Afif himself commits a foul, but the referee waved play on for the advantage and then decided to award Qatar the free kick belatedly due to the ball being cut off. And you can see the number 10, Al-Tamari, the guy who took the free kick, which went over everyone. He certainly will be one to watch, as was noted in the preview stream. And this is a very promising attack from Jordan, the Jordanian number 21, with a cross into the penalty area. Couldn't find a Jordanian attacker. A threatening Jordanian header back into the penalty area goes well beyond everyone. And it is the number 8, Nur Al-Rawabde, who with that header. And Amut has done a wonderful job with Jordan, who obviously had several, fine players playing for them over the years. Most notably the goalkeeper, Amr Shafi Mahmoud Sabah, the nation's most capped player of all time, who has since retired. He retired, of course, in 2021. And 2 years later, his Jordanian team are on the cusp of history. And that will be a Qatar throw. We see some colourful support at the Lusail Stadium tonight. And one thing I will say about Qatar, provide a wonderful atmosphere, and certainly the fans as well have contributed. And Afif now alone in the penalty area. But was he offside? No, he wasn't. And from out of nothing, a blinder there, Qatar have earned the first corner of the game. A quickly taken free kick, saw Afif on his own on the left, hoping to find him, but some great work there from Yazid Abu Layla, definitely one of the goalkeepers of the tournament, and with an important interception there to prevent a possible... certainly Afif wasn't going to score from that angle. And despite being a left winger, he is in fact right-footed. So short right-footed corner. Back to him from Fathi. Back into the penalty area, but Jordan can cut it out. And speculative shot, which was certainly not a bad idea from Qatar's number 4, Mohamed Wad, but it was always rising. It was always going to be a bit of a problem. And I do apologize for the fog on the stream. I've got the fan on. I don't have the air conditioning. And Hanno says, hello, everyone, and hopefully next time we have coverage. Now, there is, of course, a catch in that Hanno has said that he would like to do a watch-along for Girona tonight. And so hopefully the final doesn't go to penalty kicks. But we will, of course, take a look at all of that as and when it happens. A replay of the corner now. Afif sending it into the penalty area, but unable to find anyone. And obviously Wad from well outside connected with it well enough, but the ball was always rising, and Abu Layla was never really going to be in any sort of strife. In any case, I'm pretty certain he would have had it covered from that distance. And now it's Jordan's turn to attack. Nur Al-Rawabde now. Brilliantly winning it back, but inadvertently giving it away to Afif, who now is able to, hoping to find a teammate. He does find his skipper, Al-Haydos, but brilliant defensive work there cuts that out. It is still back with Afif, though, the number 11. And that is with the number 12, Lucas Mendes, who passes it to the number 5, Tarek Salman. It is still with Salman. And he sends it all the way to Al Moaz Ali, I think. And Al Moaz does brilliantly to get it into the penalty area. It is with Afif, who can try and shoot, but in the end, all he does is side foot it through a defender's legs all the way to the goalkeeper. And so you can see right now that for all of the wonderful attacking of Qatar, Jordan have got their defense really spot on. And yeah, you can see Ehsan Haddad and the number 3, Abdullah Nasib there doing very well to pretty much prevent Afi from getting a really good shot at goal. And play on, says the referee, and Jordan have a chance to attack, but a wasted pass in the end, which never found Tamari up there. Al-Naimat, the number 11 from Jordan, is also another one to watch, and we'll see if he receives some service. Now, obviously, a lot of people have predicted that Qatar should win, but they do have the added pressure of being the defending champions and the hosts, playing in front of their home crowd. They should be able to secure qualification for the upcoming World Cup, and I think it is fair to say that this current generation of players are truly their golden generation. Salem and Alajain, it is back with him now. Passing it to Yazan Al-Arab, back to Abdullah Nasib. It is now with the number 23, the skipper, and that will be a Jordan throw. Mohamed Wad cutting that off. And Jordan obviously trying to build up a little bit patiently, but I think, is that going to be offside? We'll see if he retrieves the ball. He does so brilliantly, but does he concede the throw-in? No, he doesn't. He actually wins the throw-in, and I think... And there is, of course, the Qatar coach. It is a Jordan throw-in taken by Salem Al-Alajain. And Jordan have a chance to try to attack, trying to get into the penalty area, but that was another wasted cross, which doesn't quite go out for... Actually, it did go out, in fact, so that will be Qatar goal kick. And it's that lack of quality, really, you know, from the... I mean, that pass from the midfield to the attack isn't really the best. And so Tamari and Al-Naimat will have to work really hard to try and get some service, and some potential problems there, but all cleared up in the end for Jordan. Yazid Abu Layla will now throw it all the way to Salem Al-Ajain, Al-Ajalin, who will try and who retrieves it back and then passes it back to Yazan Al-Arab, and then Abdullah Nasib will also receive that. And now the big question is, well, a huge pass forward from Al-Nasib, but and Basham there coming out of his area to sort of head that. He had to be very careful because one misjudgment could have been fatal. And now a possible attack for Qatar. Al Moaz Ali in the penalty area, but brilliant defensive work from Salem Al-Ajalin, and that will be another corner for Qatar. Although I do believe the flag might have gone up for offside against Al Moaz Ali. Al Moaz Ali, along with Akram Afif, one of Qatar's mainstays in attack. And I tell you what, that was very marginally a close call. But really good to see that there have been no real complaints about the refereeing decisions as such. And yeah, hope you're good. And yeah, why don't you bother with that? And we see another snapshot of the huge crowd in the stadium. 12 minutes gone, still Jordan 0, Qatar 0. And we are going to see, of course, how this will pan out. I really do apologize to our viewers if you are unable to receive coverage. Shame on the people involved in that decision. I hope that my commentary will provide some respite. And it is Tamari who is able to get the ball into the penalty area, and it's up against Mohamed Wad. Good defensive work there, but that will be a Jordan corner. Obviously, Mendes there, the number 12, not hoping to take any chances. Lucas Mendes there. And it will be another left-footed set piece from Tamari, the number 10. This time, will it be a perfect 10? He does have the ability to get some really good curve, but he opts for a short corner, receives that pass, and this time, well, I mean, he's cornered now by the defense, and it is Hassan Al-Haydos, the number 10, who was able to pickpocket him and start a Qatar attack. And once again, all that Jordanian work for naught in the end. But, yeah, the number 9, Yusuf, had to be careful there. Very nearly took that ball out of play on the sideline. And some great defensive work there from Ehsan Haddad, the Jordanian skipper. Ensured that will be a goal kick. Or is that going to be a free kick for a possible handball? We will, of course, find out. It is now with Jordanian number 13, Al-Mardi, who sends it forward, but to no real avail. And a pass back to Basham, who sends it quite long, just beyond the halfway line. Jordan still have the ball, but they're not really able to do very much with it. The number 21, Nizar Al-Rashdan there, being able to get the ball and pass it. And Ehsan Haddad there winning a throw off Akram Afif. So it could very well be that Jordan's forward line might possibly have to, become a front two with possibly either Tamari or Olwan, the other forward, number 9, dropping back into midfield. And Qatar have so far been a lot more aggressive, but some brilliant work there from the number 21, Al-Rashdan. But Qatar win the ball back. It is Tariq Salman who passes it back to a teammate. It is now with Ahmed Fathi, who is cynically fouled by Al-Rashdan. And will that be the first booking of this final? I think I'll probably, share the lineup so that all of you can understand exactly who, I'm talking about. Yeah, so you should have the team lineups in front of you right now, and hopefully you will see them. Those are the starting lineups right there. And a replay of that challenge from Al-Rashdan. Very cynical indeed, and clearly Lopez was not happy with that. Qatar can once again try and move forward, but Jordan had been very solid at the back. And slipped there, but well recovered. Lucas Mendes, the number 12. Sending it forward, hoping to find Afif, and he does so quite brilliantly, but Afif loses the ball, and Jordan can clean up. Al-Rashdan sending it forward, hoping to find a teammate. It is a little bit too long, but Olwan does brilliantly to retrieve it, and it's Olwan against Tariq Soliman. Al-Naimat there with a shot straight at Basham, who parries it out. And it was a powerful shot, which is why Basham wasn't quite able to catch it. And so we have the first shot on target from Jordan rather. I think you could say that the side foot towards goal was technically a shot on target, but it was never going to trouble the goalkeeper. But Basham standing tall, and you could see there Al-Naimat getting that on target, but not quite able to really test Basham. But it was quite powerful, which is why Basham could only parry it. And so once again, hoping to find Afif, but then that was a bit too long. And we're seeing a lot of errant passes and crosses being the order of the day. just occurred to me that I was sharing the coverage of the match, so I had to stop that. I really don't want this stream to get copyrighted. Al-Rashdan with the header, but not really sensible play there. And Mohamed Wad can send that forward, but Ehsan Haddad, once again, right place at the right time to cut out his counterpart. And a very promising ball there. Tamari on the right, the number 10, going into the penalty area. Not the best of passes, but it is retrieved by Al Neymat, the number 11. And Al Neymat being forced out, but Jordan can still find a way back in. It is with Al Neymat now. Good defensive work from Qatar, and it is now with Al Haddad, who sends it back into the penalty area. But despite the onrushing Olwan coming in, Basham claims that. And has Basham been hit? Well, apparently Olwan he clattered straight into him, and he has in fact received the first booking of this final. And that is a painful blow for Basham, being smacked right in the ear. Of course, Qatar do have the veteran Saad Al-Sheib on the bench, who was, in fact, the starting goalkeeper for Qatar when they won the Asia Cup in the UAE. And you could see there Olwan going forward and just catching the goalkeeper in the head. I think the injury, the challenge should be... I really don't think Basham will be too badly affected, but of course, Al-Sheib is not too bad an option to bring off the bench. Another snapshot of the fans, and Basham is on his feet. In fact, Al-Sheib also started the first game for Qatar in the World Cup, Qatar's first ever World Cup finals match, but was replaced by Basham for the last two games. And since then, Basham has pretty much made the first choice spot his own. Doesn't wear number 1, but very much first choice as far as the management is concerned. Saad Al-Sheib, who wears number 1, is very much the number 2. Make that make sense. Word back to Mendes. See a few comments in the chat. There was one comment asking for the link. Don't know that person. I don't know if that person was a subscriber, so I'm not about to entertain that. Mendes. Afif. Hoping to find Wad, but Wad has to, pass it back to Mendes after almost losing his footing. And Jordan once again not quite able to clear their lines, and Afif is able to run into the penalty area, and it's a penalty. Well, Afif with his runs was always going to cause a lot of trouble, and Abdullah Nasib there, the number 3, catching him unawares. And so clearly Hassan Al-Muta is not happy. You could see the Jordanian defense, which was actually solid in the first 20 minutes, 19 minutes at least, not quite able to, manage Afif's runs. And you could see there Nasib's leg colliding into Afif's leg. And sending him tumbling. The referee had no hesitation in pointing to the spot, and the VAR people really weren't even consulted. So the Chinese referee, they're doing the needful, and there can really be no complaints about that. And so, hang about, VAR are actually checking the penalty, but it really should be a formality. Not too sure why they check it anyway. And clearly, Al-Muta is not happy. The check is taking a little bit long. I just wonder if it's for a possible offside. Certainly didn't look offside to me. And we're still told that they're checking the penalty, but the check should be over by now. And so Akram Afif, the number 11, it was his winning penalty that knocked out Palestine in the round of 16, early in the second half. So, yep, the check is complete. It is a penalty, and the Qatar fans are waiting with bated breath. Afif against Abu Layla. Who comes out on top? Afif knows how to take a good penalty, normally hits them high and wide to the keeper. Abu Layla is not quite in the center, so he has to be careful. He is back center now. And Abu Layla guessed the right way, but that was a perfect penalty. Hard and low into the corner, and there was no way that Abu Layla was saving that. And so, change to the scoreboard. It will be Jordan 0, Qatar 1. Confirmation that this is coverage of the Asian Cup final from the Lusail Stadium, and this is the latest score. Jordan 0, Qatar 1. So the hosts have in fact taken the lead, and a rather interesting celebration there from Afif. Sort of stopped in front of the camera and took out a card showing him flexing his bicep. Afif, of course, one of the top scorers in this Asian Cup, and we're going to find out how many goals that is for him in this tournament. But the Qatar flags are flying, and Hassan Al-Muta, angry with the concession of the penalty, hit low and true, and Yazid dived the right way. But I'm not too sure he would have gotten a hand to that, given how quickly it was taken. And so, after 22 minutes, and we just found out that Afif has 6 goals in 7 games. So, along with Ayman Hussein of Iraq, he is the tournament's joint top scorer. And so he has his chance to become the top scorer all outright for this tournament. Of course, Hussein scored his goals in 3 fewer games than Afif, but I'm sure Ayman would have loved to have been a part of the Iraq team playing in this final rather than watching it from their screens as their round of 16 conquerors, Jordan, take their place. And so what do Jordan have? Well, it's a free kick to them, I believe, for an offside. And a needless foul conceded there by Al-Haydos, tackling his counterpart, Haddad. And it is Tamari who was able to get it, but doesn't really control the ball very well, and that will be a Qatar throw-in. Yazan Al-Arab there with the pass that Tamari could have controlled perhaps a bit better. It is back to Al-Arab there, who passes it back to his goalkeeper. It is with Al-Arab now, who tries to send it forward. And that is cut out by Mohamed Wad, but not very effectively. A Jordanian throw-in. Haddad to Al-Rawabdi. It is back with Haddad, but some aggressive defensive play from Qatar sees it cleared, and another errant pass there from Al-Nasib goes out of play for a Qatar throw. Now, I do know that there is some Premiership football going on, so I will provide some score updates, probably on the half-hour mark or whenever there's a break in play. Jordan trying to go forward, but the passing has been a little bit sloppy, and Qatar have been able to take advantage of it. And it could very well be that Al-Muta will make a few substitutions. A long pass, which finds Al-Moazali. Great work by him, but invariably forced to, take it out of play. And, in fact, Al-Moazali is offside. So Al-Moaz is a huge threat with his pace, but the timing of his runs has not been the best. Al-Arab there doing some really good work to spring the trap, and he fell into it. And the Qatar bench, of course, applauding. They like what they're seeing. And Tariq Salman with the throw. Not a very good throw, easily cut off. And Al-Nasib passing it back to Al-Ajalin. It is now with Abu Layla. And he's got to be careful here. He eventually finds his captain Haddad, who maneuvers it brilliantly past Akram Afif. And Jordan have been a little bit lethargic and sloppy in their passing. And so far, Qatar have been able to make them pay, albeit only by virtue of penalty. But going forward for Tamari, they are dangerous. But Tamari, once again, doing a bit too much, overthinking it, and taking that ball out of play. And one update I could give you is that in the lunchtime kickoff today, Manchester City beat Everton 2-0. Erling Haaland, who couldn't find the net against Brentford, ended up scoring twice against the Toffees to condemn them to defeat. Yep, 71st and 85th minutes. So credit to the Toffees for fighting well, but in the end, they just came unstuck. I mean, obviously you think of Toffees and then unstuck. That was a happy accident. Mohamed Wad, Akram Afif. Pass back to Lucas Mendes. Sending it forward, but can't find Afif this time, or does he? Yes, he does, but Afif is, in his efforts to keep the ball in play on the sideline, he's taken it a bit too far. And a bit of a clash there between Afif and Haddad, but pleasantries exchanged, and all love at the end of the day. Yet another all-Arab final, as it was in 1996 between the UAE and Saudi Arabia, as it was in 2007 between Iraq and Saudi Arabia, and as it is now between Jordan and Qatar. And a free kick awarded to Jordan there for a foul on Ali Olwan. Tariq Salman there completely impeding him. And the referee, of course, has no option but to award a free kick. The Qatar bench anxiously looking on. And that particular challenge has left Oman hurt on the field. A sort of a hip jack there from Tajikstan. Very, very cynical. And right, so we are coming up to the half-hour mark, and there is a delay in play. So confirmation of the earlier result: Manchester United beating Everton 2-0. At Craven Cottage, Fulham are 2-0 up against Bournemouth. Not the best result for the Cherries, but excellently done for Bournemouth indeed. De Cordova-Reid and Muniz Carvalho, the goal scorers in the first half. Liverpool leading Burnley, but only by a goal to nil. Diogo Jota on 31 minutes. And a huge shocker potentially in the making. Sheffield United up 2-0 at Kenilworth Road. Cameron Archer and McAtee with the goals there. And Brighton taking a bit of a surprise lead. Pascal Gross with a 17th minute penalty over at the Tottenham Stadium. And Brentford through Christian Norgard taking a 1-0 lead over Wolves at Molineux. That should please our friend Steve Jenkins, better known as Mr. B. So are we back in action or... Nope, still some shots from the crowd as we come up to the 30-minute mark. It is still Jordan 0, Qatar 1. And looks as though Oman is okay to continue for now, but doesn't look too happy, the Jordanian number 9. One of the front three selected by Amuta today. So finally, the free kick is about to be taken. Plenty of fouls in this half. 6 for Jordan to Qatar's 4. So far, though, only one booking. I do apologise for that lull. Nice speculative long ball sent back into the Qatar penalty area. And it was Al Neymat who was trying to fight then. And Al Neymat is, in fact, offside. The free kick was really much ado about nothing. But Al Neymat there clearly in offside position. And the linesman spotting that and saying, sorry, son, back you go. Fathy, all the way to Tajikstan. And it is with, well, a very unfortunate slip there from Al Moaz Ali. Otherwise, that cross from the right could have found him, and it could have left Jordan in all sorts of trouble. But some good work once again by Qatar down the flanks. And clearly the 5-man midfield is working a treat, with the wide men working really, really, really wide. Afif with the corner. This time, he'll be looking to swing it away with his right foot. And a brilliant header down. Was that a save by Abu Layla, or did that in fact go over his head? I believe it was Abu Layla who saved it, because I believe the verdict is a corner. Sort of went off his fingertips, really. Headed down into the ground by Lucas Mendes. I think Abu Layla probably knew that it was going over, but didn't want to take any chances. And inadvertently, it is now a Qatar corner, and this could be dangerously swung in by Afif's right boot. We will see. A long time before the corner, which is finally taken. A short one. Back to Afif. And pretty poor back pass to Afif. These are cut out, but all the way back to no man's land in the Qatar half. And Fathi passes it to Barsham, who can send it long. And he does. Does he find Afif? No, he doesn't. And a dreadful foul there on the Jordanian captain, Ehsan Haddad. The Jordanians were asking for an advantage to be played, but the Chinese referee said nothing doing. Clearly a huge clash of heads between Yusuf Abdurrazak, the number 9. We'll just call him Yusuf. And Haddad, the number 23. Yusuf also seems to have a bit of a delayed reaction there. I want to say a huge shout out to the Middle Eastern Student Association back at my alma mater, the University of Tampa, who are organizing a watch-along for this very game. 2 Arab teams contesting an Asian Cup final. Doesn't get better. I can just imagine plenty of wonderful Middle Eastern food being served as a part of it. And more snapshots of the crowd in the stadium. And Jordan now trying to take it forward, but invariably passing it back. It is Abdullah Nisab who sends it, trying to send it forward. Ehsan Haddad now, sort of doubling as de facto right back, really. But poor pass cut out by Ahmed Fathi, but and a huge foul there by Al Naimat on Salman from the looks of it. Or actually, I'm not too sure why the team are going forward. Was it a foul by Salman? For now, though, Tariq Salman is on the floor and probably needs a bit of treatment. Nope. It was a body check there by Yazan Al Naimat on Tariq Salman. And pretty poor form there. Poor play, really. Well, for some reason, it was given a Jordan free kick. And Qatar now having to do some work in the last 10 minutes of the half to try and prevent a goal being scored. It is now with the number 17, Salem Al-Ajalin. He will, of course, take the throw in. Can he send us into the penalty area? Nope, it's a short one out to Arabwade, hoping to find, and that wasn't really a bad pass, which could have led to trouble for Qatar if it had found a Jordanian attacker in the penalty area. But quick running. Afif is on the left. But good work there from the defense. I believe that was Al Nasib who cut that off brilliantly. And Haddad is now trying to go forward, playing as a de facto overlapping right back. Great work from the skipper. Hoping to send it forward, but well, Al-Rawabde actually does win a throw-in off Jassim Ghabad, the number 24 for Qatar. Excellent throw from the skipper. Finds the player and probably could have claimed a penalty, but to his credit, he stayed on his feet. sent forward once again. And Tamari is there to pick up the pieces. And he wins a free kick for a rather cynical body check there from Ahmed Fatih. And Tamari clearly not happy, but not too sure why he wouldn't be happy. He won a free kick there. A shoulder barge there, which was rightly deemed to have obstructed an attack. And there's still, well, Afif is there having a chat with the referee. Not too sure why he's getting involved. Still waiting for the free kick to be taken. And just now we got the number 13, Mahmoud Al-Maddi, standing over that, along with Musa Tamari, number 10. And a lot of Jordanian support in the crowd. Anxious about this as we come up to the 40-minute mark. It is still Jordan 0, Qatar 1. Could this change with 5 minutes to go in the first half, plus stoppages? It is Al-Maddi to take it, swinging it in. Couldn't quite find a player though and is headed out, but that will be a Jordan throw-in. And a pretty good idea there from Al-Maddi, sort of using his right foot to sort of curl it out and into the penalty area. Had it found a teammate, that could have left Basham in trouble. And Al-Maddi again with the pass into the penalty area, hooked in. Dealt away, but not very effectively. This time, though, Al-Haydos, the skipper, is able to clear it, but not very effectively there. A high clearance, and this time, after all the chaos, Basham comes out and collects it. You're not going to find out, of course. Yep, Qatar throw. Cut out by the skipper, but only as far as Yassim Gaba, who sends it all the way out to Yusuf on the right. And Yusuf is definitely pacey, but Al-Maddi there cutting that out very well. But it will be a Qatar throw. Let me see if there are any comments this time around. I will check your comments as and when they come in. Salman with a short throw. It is with Gabba now, the number 24. A little bit of pinball going on, but it's eventually a Jordan throw. Al-Moaz Ali not quite receiving the service and not able to time his runs well enough either. Jordan throw. It is now back with Abu Layla. Nothing really much happening by way of goalmouth action, to be fair. And I think it's fair to say that Qatar pretty much have their measure, and they've pretty much been the better team in the first half, simply because Jordan have not really been able to muster up much in terms of consistent attacking. They did have one shot on target. I'll name out there with the shot that forced Basham to parry it out. Apart from that, excellent running. No real quality with the crosses. It is now a corner from Akram Afif as we come to the last 2 minutes of the first half, and there will be some stoppages, definitely. Corner whipped in, but easily cleared away. Fathi, though, was able to try and send it forward, but was away from the goal, so Salman was able to get that and get it back from Afif, and he is in the penalty area. He's not going to get another penalty, though. That was a fair tackle this time around. The Chinese referee getting it spot on there. And Basham having to come out of his area and send that out for a throw. Obviously not willing to take any chances, the Qatar number 22. Some good interplay there between Afif, sending Tariq on his way, and Nur Al-Rab, they're coming back to defend. Didn't really challenge Afif, and that won't be a penalty. And this will be a Jordan throw. Will it be Tamari or no? It's Haddad, the captain, who will be taking it. And some good play between Haddad and Tamari there. And Tamari doing really well to escape the intention of the Fathi, but the Qatar defense holding firm. A speculative shot, really, after the layup by Rashdan. And that was never going to trouble Basham in the Qatar goal. Al-Maddi there with that very speculative effort, which was never really... Yeah, it was rising and rising higher, and Afif is down, and shouldn't be too serious, hopefully, for Qatar's sake. And we will find out how many minutes of time are being added. 6 minutes, obviously, because there have been some pretty lengthy delays due to injury. Some great footwork from Tamari there, skipping past two defenders and trying to get a cross in. And you can see they do a lot of excellent work in the midfield, but the cross just doesn't really provide that much at the end. And Al-Naimat, Olwan, and Tamari also don't really receive too much in terms of service. Yep. Pretty much escaping Afif and Fathi's attentions there. Probably will have to go and get something to eat because for some reason I feel a bit lightheaded. I don't know why. I'll tell you one thing. If you're trying to get home due to heavy traffic and the buses are incompetent, it can lead to a lot of stress. And there is some cause for stress here because Akram Afif is being stretchered off the field. So after scoring his tournament co-leading 6th goal, he's being taken off the field to be attended to by the medical staff. And if he does have to go off the field, it will be a blow for Qatar because Afif, of course, is the goal scorer. He was, of course, the person who won the penalty. A huge, huge thorn in Jordan's side with his runs. I think some good news is that he is up on his feet, so he should be back on the field. Basham sending it long, headed back across the halfway line, but only as far as Salman, who inadvertently heads it back, and Lucas Mendes having to rather awkwardly concede a throw-in. And so can Jordan find something here? Well, some brilliant work here. Finding Tamari in the penalty area, but some great defensive work again from Qatar, and that will be a Jordan corner. Basham not really making the save. I believe that was a Jordan defender who had the final touch. Beautiful work down the left from Olwan, and the shot on target, but not really troubling Basham, and a waste of a corner, really. Tamari there getting it completely wrong. Some wonderful work from Olwan. And it was Mohamed Wad who got his hip in the way. Unfortunately, he was smart enough not to get his hand in the way. Otherwise, VAR would definitely have had a field day with that. Right, we are back on the field. More snapshots from the crowd. A few other flags being raised. It is, of course, a Qatar throw with about 2 minutes to go. Salman taking that, and it's a short throw and not very well dealt with. And Jordan can, even there also, the throw wasn't quite well dealt with there. Yassim Gabba now hoping to try to go forward, and that will be a Qatar throw, with the Jordan defender taking the final touch. So the Qatar boss is Bartolome Marquez Lopez. Very elegantly named there. And another Qatar throw. Salman again to take it. Pass it back to one of his defenders, who ends up passing it all the way back to Basham, who sends it high and not quite long enough. Not the best kick from the Qatar goalkeeper there. It is, of course, with Fathi now, who is able to calm things down, and it is with Gabba, who can does some really good work and can go forward. Finds Yusuf all the way on the right. Great work from him, twisting and turning all the way to Sunday. But Jordan there eventually conceding a corner, and Afif is running quite hard to take it as we come into the last minute of stoppage time at the end of the first half. And a short corner, which was probably taken fairly quickly, hoping to catch the goalkeeper and defenders off guard, but the Jordan defense holding firm and snuffing that danger out quite perfectly. And this might be the last chance of the half. Well, apparently it looks as though Ehsan Haddad slipped. Not too sure why a free kick would have been awarded, but that's the referee's call, and Haddad sends it all the way across the field. Looks as though he's found Al-Mahdi, who gets it to Al-Rawabde. Al-Mahdi again to Al-Razdan. And that is Olwan on the left, hoping to find... well, he did find Tamari in the penalty area, but when you take a look at that miss, you think Ali Al-Tanyani for the UAE in the 96 Asia Cup final. He completely missed it, and this could very well be the miss that, cost Jordan their chance of maybe winning. Could have controlled that and then taken a shot, but wanted to take it on the fly, as they say. And that should very well be the last piece of action from the half as we enter 6 minutes and 30 seconds of stoppage time. Basham, of course, sending that long, and that should be a Jordan throw. We're into 6 minutes and 43. I suppose the referee will probably add a grace minute. It is... well, at the moment, Jordan do have the ball. A rather cheeky challenge there from Yassim Gaber, and I do believe the referee will be booking him for... Oh, it's not actually Jabba who's being booked. It is the Jordanian number 17, Salem Al-Ajalin, who's being booked for that pretty poor challenge there on Gaber. Flying right in, catching Jabba on his foot. Pretty poor play there. And when those studs get into your foot, boy, it hurts like Billio. And so this might be the last chance of the half. We've played 1.5 minutes of stoppage time beyond the 6 allotted. So the referee might blow his whistle on the 8-minute mark. And that is, of course, sent all the way to the other side, received by Akram Afif. Al Moaz Ali trying to get to that, but doesn't. But it is not very well cleared, and Yusuf is able to receive that. But some good work there from Al Naimat, preventing him from going too far forward. And will there be time to take the throw? Yes, there will be, just about. Actually, there isn't. The referee has, in fact, blown the whistle for half-time. And before I change the banner, let me say shame on Sports 18. If you are not willing to cover the Asia Cup in with full sincerity, prioritizing Indian sports and the SA20 above this, do not even think of trying to apply to provide coverage of these tournaments ever again. You were very good during the World Cup, I will grant you that. But this time around, your Asia Cup coverage has been abysmal, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. In the meantime, though, from the Lusail Stadium in Qatar at halftime in the AFC Asian Cup final, it is Jordan 0, Qatar 1. And if you will excuse me, I will have to rush to get a little something to eat, feel a bit lightheaded, but I will be back in 60 seconds. Well, I'm sorry it took a little bit longer than 60 seconds, but when you haven't eaten anything for about 7 hours and you have to deal with the stupid traffic coming back home and the buses also being exceptionally incompetent, uh, the stress can leave you a little bit lightheaded. But all I can say is, and I think a lot of you can agree with me, thank God for pound cake. Let me get to quite a few of your comments. I see that I'm not too sure there is a YouTube stream. If you're in certain countries, I believe in India, you can watch this for free on the Geo Cinema app, which is exactly what I've been doing. And I want to see right now if Sports 18 will actually be, showing the uh, second half at the very least. And don't think you can watch the game on YouTube. I'm afraid might have to be in a certain country or whatever. And Coach's Corner confirming that you have to be somewhere in Asia. And some updates, of course, from the Premiership, thanks to Chelsea fan. And I will obviously give you a full update right now of everything that's taken place at half time. And a big shock here is that, well, apparently it is, in fact, second half action right now in some of the games, because I can tell you right now that Liverpool and Burnley are actually tied at one apiece. O'Shea there on 45 minutes, scoring the goal just before half time to take them in at half time 1-1. And we're underway in the second half at Kenilworth Road with Sheffield United 2-0 up. A lot of us were predicting a Luton win, especially after their brilliant performances against Brighton and Newcastle, where they scored 4. But a clean sheet for Wes Fotheringham. Only playing, of course, because of a concussion to Ivo Grbic. Still 1-0 at the Tottenham Stadium, Pascal Gross's penalty. And Wolves have equalised at Molineux with Dawson on... well, apparently it looks as though the goal for Dawson has been disallowed. And we will, of course, give you some proper updates, of course, courtesy of BBC Sport. The text updates are always a lot better. And... but this just in. Yeah, Craig Dawson was offside, so the goal was ruled out. And this just in, Luis Diaz has given Liverpool a 2-1 lead back at Anfield. So Liverpool obviously trying their best to avoid potential embarrassment. And some updates from rugby, if you're interested in that. Today, England are facing Wales at Twickenham. Game hasn't started yet, but it will, of course, be starting quite soon. Scotland and France are currently in action at Murrayfield, and I can tell you that although Scotland led France at half-time with... in fact... well, there is some action taking place right now, and we will find out what goes on there later on. And the other game, of course, we'll see Ireland taking on Italy. I believe that will be at Lansdowne Road. So I want to go back and see if... well, they still haven't resumed for the second half yet. And this is, of course, how it stands. And we're seeing some shots on my television from the Indian Super League, which was prioritized over this. 4 channels for Sports 18. And you couldn't pick one to provide coverage of the Asian Cup final, a major international tournament final. Shame on you. At least Geo Cinema picked up your slack. Might have to refresh the browser to see if we will be back soon at Lusail. And I can tell you right now that we are 25 seconds into the second half with Jordan still trailing Qatar 1-0. Let me just change the banner. The Akram Afif penalty is still all that separates both teams, despite Qatar arguably being the better of the two teams, at least in the first half. So Jordan will have a lot of work to do as they try to stop Qatar from going forward. And I will try and update you if there have been any halftime substitutions from either team. And it looks as though Qatar have they made a change? No, I don't think they have. And so Jordan starting this half, obviously trying their best to, take the ball forward. Salem, of course, finding a teammate. And that teammate, Rabwade, passing it back to Abu Layla. Some defensive interplay, of course, between Al-Ajalin and Al-Arab. Pass back again to Abu Layla. Abdullah Nasib, who gave away the penalty. Al-Razdan. And off Afif, but Nasib doesn't really do a good job of clearing that. Concedes a throw for his pains. Mohamed Wad with the throw. Cleared for another throw. Abdullah Nasib now apparently watching Al-Muez Ali. Akram Afif has been a live wire down that left flank. Cleared by Jordan rather. And Al Rabwade doing some good work and getting away very well from about three or four Qatar players. And that is sent forward by Al-Arab, and Basham is able to collect that. No one really getting on the end of that. Tariq Salman. Yusuf. For Qatar. Conceding a throw, which Jordan will look to take as quickly as possible. And that will be a Qatar throw with the ball going out of play. So Bartolome Marquez Lopez, better known as Tintin, Spanish former footballer who is now the current manager of Qatar. And he, in fact, took charge of the Qatar team in 2023, which was, of course, after the World Cup. And since then, he's seen the team become a bit more consistent. And they will obviously be hoping to qualify for the upcoming World Cup proper as one of the best teams in Asia. But I'm sure a lot of Asian teams will have a lot to say about that, including some teams this tournament who, quite frankly, flattered to deceive. Two assistant coaches for Marquez, Northern Irishman Mick McDermott and South African Roger Dessau. Certainly something to make Hanno very happy indeed. And it was, in fact, Felix Sanchez who coached the team until 2022, replaced by Portuguese guys. No, it was actually Carlos Queiroz who, in fact, coached nope. Queiroz has obviously had a very checkered coaching history. It was, in fact, Felix Sanchez who coached the team at the World Cup. But because they lost all of their matches in Group A, becoming the worst performing host nation in history, his contract expired and it was not renewed, and Qatar have had 3 managers since. Jordan now with the chance to attack. Salem Al-Ajalin trying to send it forward, and Jordan winning a throw. Hassan Al-Amuta looks rather worried. And apparently he should be, because what should have been a Jordan throw in his eyes is, I think, ended up becoming a Qatar throw. Salman wandering over to take it, which he does. And that is, of course, sent back into the Qatar half. A bit of head tennis going on a little bit. And Al-Rabwa, the first to the ball in the middle, and he gets it. Passes it to Tamari. And you can see how positionally spot on the Qatar players are, doing their best to make sure they stay glued to their players and not really allowing any attacks to take place. But Qatar have had their moments when they've looked a bit shaky in defense. This, of course, will not be one of them, with the ball going out of play for a Qatar throw. And it looks as though Qatar will be making their first substitution. It's the number 8, Ali Assad, who is primed to come on. It will be interesting to see who he replaces. Throw is eventually taken. And not very good work there from Al-Moaz Ali from the looks of it. And that will be a Jordan throw. Tried to control it, but did a little bit too much with it. And looks as though it's a double substitution for Qatar, with another substitute being given his orders to do whatever he can. Ali Asadallah, 73 caps for him. And we'll find out who the other substitute is. And it looks as though it's Ahmed Fathi who will be coming off as he ambles off. Yassim Gaba on the floor in a separate development. And I wonder if Jordan are going to make a change of their own. It is, in fact, Yassim Gaba who will be coming off for Ali Asadallah. And the captain, Hassan Al-Haydos, will be coming off for Abdulaziz Hatem. 117 caps, so a lot of experience coming off the bench for Qatar. And certainly a very well-rounded squad indeed. And so Al-Haydos going off is a bit of a surprise, because he has, of course, been a key contributor in this particular final, cutting off several attacks and trying to do whatever he can to set things forward. But Abdulaziz Hatem and Ali Asadallah coming on to take the place of Yassim Gaba and captain Hassan Al-Haydos. Al-Haydos, in fact, his nation's most capped player. 185 caps. It is, of course, his 185th cap tonight. And still going on very strong. Let's see how old he is. Age 33. So he could definitely join Cristiano Ronaldo on 200 caps and become the first Arab footballer to play 200 caps, to play 200 matches for his national team. Kuwait's Badr al-Mutawa is still stuck on 196, agonizingly. I don't know if he's retired from the national team. And Al-Haydos gives the captain's armband to Abdulaziz Hatem. And he will run on and lead the team on Haydos' departure. And Asadallah also comes in to replace Yassim Gaber. I'm not sure if this will necessarily slow the game down, but clearly some experience is required. And we are, in fact, in the Qatar heart, with Jordan looking really imposing and dangerous. And Tamari there being given a lot of trouble by Mohamed Wad, but finding his way out, albeit with some help from an errant defender. It was actually, I was expecting Ahmed Fatih to be going off, but it was, in fact, his errant pass there. And Olwan being sent forward, and Yusuf having to do a lot of work to cut that out, and that will be a Jordan corner. So the Jordanians coming to life in the second half. Could they possibly find that killer pass? Al-Mardi into the penalty area. And that wasn't really a bad cross, but just a little bit too high. Abdullah Nasib there hoping to get on the end of that and try and make amends for giving away the penalty, but just wasn't to be, I'm afraid. And that was a beautiful ball, and maybe if it had just been a little bit lower, I think, Zin Al-Arab is saying, probably if it had been a little bit lower, that would have, somebody would have connected with that. But as it is, Qatar can clear their lines. Al-Moazali. Hassan Fatih. Mohamed Wad trying to send it forward, but really into no man's land as Abdullah Nasib can pass back to his goalkeeper. Al-Arab. Al-Ajalin. Al-Mardi. Back to Al-Arab. Of course, Al-Arab means the Arab. Goes without saying, really. And Al-Mardi shaking off his attacker, but illegally so, as deemed by the referee. And that will be a Qatar free kick. And I can confirm that full time from Murrayfield. It is Scotland 16, France 20. So Scotland, after a narrow win over Wales at the Principality Stadium, suffer a heartbreaking defeat. France, of course, recovering from their loss to Ireland to come back and win. But certainly all to play for these two teams. And Al-Mahdi there getting into the action once again. A lot of stoppages for fouls, it has to be said, in this game. And Hanno, it does look as though this final might be decided in normal time, so you can rest easy. I don't know if you would like me to cover the presentation ceremony at the end. I'm really not too eager to see Qatar lift the trophy, but if it has to be done, and you believe it has to be done, then I can do that. And Afif and Fatih doing their bit to clear their lines. Asadallah's first contribution is to have the ball taken away from him. And it is Al-Naimat there, who finds it, somehow gets it into the penalty area. And an acrobatic effort there from Olwan, which just didn't find the target. So certainly trying to take matters into his own hands, and that certainly wasn't a half bad effort, but not really getting it on target. Maybe a little bit more controlling it nicely, but maybe in any case, I'm pretty certain that Basham would have had that covered at his near post. Al-Ajalin heading it out and heading it back to Al-Arab. Back with Ajalin now. And Jordan have yet to make a substitution. And Jordan claiming a foul, but the referee says no foul. Another example of how you've got to play to the whistle, no questions asked. Not quite at the hour mark yet, but Jordan now doing their bit to make sure they don't let their work go to waste. And Ehsan Haddad there doing some brilliant work once again. Haddad probably Jordan's best player today. Tamari and Al Naimat have done their best, but not really had the best of service. And whenever Tamari has had the ball, hasn't quite been able to do really well with it. That miss just before halftime pretty much has summed up his game. Jordan do have it forward, though. Al-Rashdan. Al-Maddi. Brilliant pass from Al-Maddi, sending Saleh forward. And didn't really find anyone there, but it is, in the penalty area. And a fine save from Basham. It was Ehsan Haddad there who had the chance to try to sneak in a shot at the near post. And another shot on target for Jordan. Jordan have come to life now. Some great work again there. Ehsan escaping his defender brilliantly. Trying to sort of side-foot it in, really, but the shot didn't have that much power. And some proper alert goalkeeping there from Basham, sending that wide for a corner. So it's Al-Maddi and Haddad standing over the corner, 13 and 23. Al-Maddi with the corner, swing out, hoping to find a Jordanian. And Basham once again with a brilliant save. That shot was acrobatically struck on target. And Basham once again coming up trumps. Well, there's a reason why he's now the new Qatar #1 ahead of Saad Al-Sheib. And he's shown it right now. Brilliantly connected. I think it was Al-Arab there, the number 5, who sort of hit it onto the ground. I think fair to say that it was straight at Basham, but he still had to do the needful. Coming up to the hour mark, it is Jordan 0, Qatar 1. And I'll go back to some of the live scores from the Premiership. Spurs have in fact equalised. Luton have pulled a goal back. Fulham have taken a 3-1 lead over Bournemouth. And it is still Brentford 1, Wolves 0 at Molineux. A rather acrobatic, almost, back header from Al-Arab to his goalkeeper, Abu Layla. And the Jordanian fans still in fine voice, still proud of their team for the effort they've shown to come here. And Hatem with a chance to try to go in forward, but cut out quite well. And it is Al-Maddi now, down the left. Can he be Jordan's answer to Akram Hafif? No, he can't. And brilliant defensive work there, cutting out a pass which would have set, I believe that was Hatem through on goal. Al-Rawabde out to Tamari on the right. Tamari against Mohamed Wad. Jordan are finding their feet right now. And Basham once again with the save. And ooh, that was close. It's all Jordan now. It's all Jordan. They're coming back into it and coming back strong. And with half an hour to go, you've got to say that it is not over. by any means. Tarami once again the inspiration. Basham once again with the save. An attempted back heel there from Al-Rawabde, but didn't really find the target there. And Basham is down. Not too sure he's got cramp, really. 3 excellent saves from the Qatar number 22. And, ooh, that back heel was cheeky. Had it been on target, a chance would be that Basham would have been caught unawares. And you can see how much it means to the Jordan fans in the stands. Well, of course, this Jordan team did find the strength and reserve to score 2 breathlessly late stoppage time goals to beat Iraq in the round of 16. You just sense that it will not be over yet. But at the moment, Meshal Barsham is keeping them well in the game. And the Jordanian fans are now in full voice, waving their headscarves and their national flags. They know it's not over. And Jordan are back and back hard. But Amuta might need to make a couple of substitutions. I will expect him to bring on the number 2. And, yeah, I will expect him to bring on the number 2, Mohamed Abu Hashish, among others, if possible. And there has been another substitution made for Qatar. The number 17, Ismail Mohammed. Yeah, he is actually about to be made by Qatar. Number 17, Ismail Mohammed, coming on for the number 9, Yusuf Abdurisag. So Yusuf done some really good work down the right wing today. He will, of course, be replaced. And Ismail Mohammed will be replacing him. Ismail Mohammed, another forward who plays for Al Duhail, 77 caps for him. So very experienced substitutions. What a stacked team they have. And Hashish's first contribution is to try and lay off a pass for Asadallah, who finds Hafif, sends across into the penalty area, but nobody able to meet that. And the defense, in fact, actually the first 2 that they clear it away. But it is back with Hafif, taken away from him, though. And can Jordan find a way out? Well, yes, they can by virtue of a free kick. Still no substitutions made by Amuta, and it's a bit of a surprise. I suppose maybe when it gets to the last 20 minutes, he might throw on a few, but not really the best strategy. I mean, as an Arsenal fan, I literally tear my hair out whenever our so-called manager fails to make a sub on time. And Qatar have already made 3. Is, of course, back with Abu Layla, who rolls it out to number 5, Al-Arab. Yazan Al-Arab, who finds a pass to send it forward, and that will be a free kick for a very cynical foul. And the number 3 for Qatar, Al-Mahdi Ali, who hasn't really had much involvement in this game, it must be said, sort of chopping down Ali Olwan there, and also clutching his own hamstring. Yeah, we pan the camera to more anxious faces in the stands. I think it's fair to say that the Qatar fans who are hoping to see their team coast to a second straight Asian Cup title after the Afif penalty are rather anxious, given that Qatar currently on the back foot. But once again, another wasted free kick, floating over everyone. Abdullah Nasib nowhere near that. And it's a chance wasted. Long kick forward by Basham. Not quite long. And Jordan are able to cut that off. And they do have an opportunity to attack down the right. Has to be rather nervously cleared by Lucas Mendes. And a high looping kick eventually turns into a possible attack started by Akram Afif. But Jordan defense say, not tonight, brother. It is back with Jordan now. Mendes and Fathi trying to stop Tamari from doing too much damage with the ball. Actually, no, Tamari's in the... is he... And a possible goal, and it is! Jordan have equalised! And just when we thought that Jordan were out for the count, or not really going to make it, it is the number 11, Yazan Al-Naimat, with a brilliant strike. And clearly, there's a lot of finger pointing in the Qatar defense going on. But we're going to find out now exactly what happened. But what a strike. What a strike. 67 minutes. 3/4 of the game gone. A quarter of the game to go. Are we heading into extra time? Or could there be another winner? Another last-minute twist? And some poor defending there, really, from the number 17, Ismail Mahmoud Ali. Lost his marker completely. Huge shot there from Al-Naimat. Really powerful. Basham left that area uncovered, but such was the power of the strike. He had no chance. So, let me now update the score. Jordan 1. Qatar 1. As reflected right now. Yazan Al-Naimat with an absolutely brilliant strike, worthy of winning a tournament final. And this strike has put Jordan right back in it. And you see Al-Naimat there, raving the crowd up. And now does Amuta make some substitutions? His 4th goal in the tournament, and easily his most crucial. I think there was a bit of a VAR check, but the goal stands. I mean, I'm not sure why there was a VAR check, but it does indeed stand. And so, with 22 minutes to go until the end of normal time in the second half, it is Jordan 1, Qatar 1. Ismail Mahmoud Ali jumping for the ball, missing his man, and allowing Yazan Al-Naimat the opportunity to thrash that past Meshal Basham in the Qatar goal. So how do Qatar respond? Well, Jordan have definitely come to life. Could they perhaps spoil the party? Mohamed Wad doing some cleaning up work and sending it all the way to, I believe that was Ismail Mohamed Ali on the right. And clearly hoping for a penalty, but the referee says, nothing doing, boys, get up and play. I gave you one. You're not going to get another one like that. Not the best of headers, though, and Qatar able to win it back. And it is Asad Ali who will try and take it forward to Afif on the left. Asad Ali going down the left, receiving that pass from Afif. And being forced back in the way, and some great defensive work there from Jordan. And it's amazing how they now have some really good spaces in front of them, trying to sort of slip a pass through, but Mohamed Wad saying, no way. And Mohamed Wad has literally been a rock down that left side. His battle between him and Tamari have been absolutely terrific in this game. Not the best of headers, though. It is Abdulaziz Hatem to Akram Hafif, but cut out well by the goal scorer, Naimad, I think. But it is back with Hafif. And it wasn't the goal scorer, it was Al-Mahdi who cut that out. But now it is back into the penalty area. Jordan, though, clearing their lines well. Ahmed Fatih trying to send that on the left. Wad retrieves that and sends Al-Moazali down the left. Pass along the ground, hoping to find Afif. Doesn't really go through. And it is Qatar who will concede the throw. 20 minutes to go, all to play for. And well, clearly, I mean, there was no intent in Al-Mahdi, inadvertently tripping Ismail. But wait a minute, they are actually checking a penalty. And this could be interesting because we're going to find out now if that is really deliberate contact there. I mean, Al-Mahdi does come in there. And there does seem to be a little bit of contact between Al-Mahdi and Ismail Mohamed Ali. And so minutes after turning the villain by conceding that goal, Mohamed Ali could end up being the hero by winning the penalty. But of course, it is the referee's final decision. VAR is there to help him. And he has to determine if that's a penalty. I've got the stream on mute, so I can't really determine if that is a penalty. I'm sure right now the TV will obviously. Well, it is confirmed. It is a penalty. Your heart bleeds for the Jordanians. It really does. And for Mahmoud Al-Mahdi, who has done a great deal of work for his team tonight, certainly in the midfield, this will be a choker for him. And after doing some magnificent work to get back on level terms, if Qatar score this penalty, Jordan are going to have it all to do once again. And Yazid Abu Layla has already conceded one penalty. Hasn't necessarily been troubled so far in the Jordanian goal. And who else to take it but Akram Afif? The chance to go above Ayman Hussein and become the leading goal scorer in this tournament. Afif against Abu Layla. Mark 2. Will there be a change in the result? Nope. And once again, Abu Layla goes the right way, but Afif is just too good for him. And so on 73 minutes, another Akram Afif penalty has put Qatar 2-1 up with 17 minutes to go. And you really have to feel for Mahmoud Al-Mahdi there. But Jordan have come back from the dead against Iraq. You never know. You just never know. And once again, the card celebration. Abu Layla, yeah, started on the left and went back to the center and was always going to give himself a bit of a disadvantage because if you look carefully, he didn't get back properly into the center. And it was an excellent penalty by Afif, don't get me wrong, but you just wonder if Abu Layla was really, you know, taking the mickey, as we would say back in the UK. Jordan 1, Qatar 2. I'll get to your comments ASAP, I promise you. You can see how much it meant to the Qatar fans in the stands. 7 goals in the tournament for Afif, top scorer. And so Qatar are once again in the driver's seat. Can Jordan respond? They've got 17 minutes of normal time and some stoppage time to do it. And that will be a free kick, a rather needless foul there by the skipper, Haddad, on Afif. Not a very dangerous one, so he escapes a booking. And Chelsea fans provided a few updates. Sheffield United have actually gone 3-1 up over at Kenilworth Road. And Liverpool have gone 3-1 up against Burnley. So thanks a lot, Chelsea fan, for that. You can keep up and keep us updated, of course, as we go along. No real change in the other scores from the half-time ones, or the ones I reported last. And Almoez Ali now trying to add a bit of gloss to it. That will be a Qatar throw, I think. Yep. Almoez Ali. Actually, it is Fifi will now take that throw, his strike partner. A rather needless foul there. Sees Jordan on a free kick, and they're going to have to take it quickly, which they do. And it is Salem Al-Ajalin who will take it forward up to the halfway line. Finds, that was, of course, the goal scorer Al-Naimat, who passes it to Al-Rawabde. Al-Rawabde sending it across, hoping to find Tamari, but excellently cut out by Mohamed Wad. Wad has been outstanding tonight. But some poor work there from Afif has seen Jordan win the ball back. And it is Olwan, the number 9, up against Fatih. And pretty poor clearance that from Mohamed Wad. Back into the penalty area. And not too bad a header there, but just didn't quite get the connection there, Al Naimat. And it's fair to say that, yeah, it is Al Rashdan with the cross in, and Tariq Salman there pretty much preventing Al Naimat from getting a clean header there. But it just goes to show that this Jordan team are by no means done and dusted. But they need to make some substitutes. Come on. Ya Saidi, Amota, Yallah, make some substitutions. And once again, some pretty desperate defending, and eventually it's cleared out. But Jordan do have the ball back, and you just get the sense that with their sense of urgency and their willingness to make sure they do things a lot more simply, they're getting a lot more results. No more cheeky long passes. And as I say that, an errant long pass, hoping to find Tamari on the right. Doesn't actually It was actually Ehsan Haddad, the skipper, who was trying to go out on the right, and the skipper has had an outstanding game tonight, marauding, basically sort of doubling up as a de facto right back, overlapping down the wing, and trying his best to deny Afif any real service. In fact, the fact that Qatar's goals have both been penalties has pretty much shown that defensively they've done their job, but a few mistakes in the box, and it's cost them. Nasib in the first half, Al-Maddi in the second. I just hope for Jordan's sake that Al-Maddi's jersey number 13 doesn't prove to be unlucky, because that certainly was a very unfortunate penalty, but according to the letter of the law, it had to be given. Jordan now with Al-Naimah trying to pierce his way through, and Al-Naimah does in fact win the ball up against Ismail Mahmoud Ali, who picks his pocket and sends it forward. Only, though, as far as Nasib. And that is the skipper, Haddad. Finds Al-Rajdan. Back with the skipper. And a dreadful tackle there, but I think the referee might have waved an advantage, although it doesn't look like it. And a speculative left-footed shot there from Al-Jalin, which was never really going to hit the target. And you can see the frustration there. He knows that, well, I mean, he did hit it well enough, but it just swerved away from the goal, really, to Michel Bacham's right. And now, with about 10 minutes to go, he makes a substitution. And it looks as though it's the number 18, Saleh Ratib, who plays for Al Wehdat back in Jordan, who will be coming on. And it'll be interesting to see who he replaces. No sign of Abu Hashish, who has been a brilliant performer this tournament for Jordan. And it is the very unfortunate Mahmoud Al-Maddi who goes off, conceded the penalty. I'm sure he will be consoled by the coaching staff and Al-Maddi's teammates. Saleh Ratib, 29 years old, 35th cap tonight. Or 36th, maybe. And is there going to be another Qatar substitution? Looks as though the number 3, Al-Mahdi Ali, is being taken off. And he is to be replaced by the number 16, Boualem Kouhi. Strangely enough, I think my streaming device might be a few minutes behind. And I'm not going to, sort of betray that by going back to the television. Yep, confirmation. The number 16. Boualem Kouhi. 116 caps for him. Plays for Al Sadd in Qatar. Al Sadd, of course, the final playing team for a certain Javier Hernandez from Spain, who went on to manage Al Sadd and then Barcelona. Sadly, though, he will be leaving the Blaugrana at the end of this season. Throw in. Rather loop clearance by Nasib. Some more head tennis going on, and Jordan still can't quite clear their lines yet. And a pretty poor foul by Nasib there. I believe a shot was taken in anger after that, but a free kick has in fact been awarded. The Jordanian players are now surrounding the referee. Al-Muazzali once again being an absolute nuisance for Jordan, but Nasib, they're pulling Ali's shirt. And once again, it is the responsibility of Yazid Abu Layla to try and stop a possible goal. Like I've said, apart from the 2 penalties, he hasn't really been tested, but if he concedes a goal from this free kick, you just sense that it will be all over for Qatar. Qatar, of course, beat Japan 3-1 to win last time around. Could they possibly do so by the same scoreline? It is Abdul Aziz Hatem and Akram Afif both standing over it. Could it be Afif who takes it? Well, it is, of course, taken. Afif was the one who took it, and a magnificent save from Yazid Abu Layla, arguably one of the best goalkeepers in this tournament. Excellent free kick, curling in, but due to Yazid's positioning, he guessed quite brilliantly and kept it out. It will, however, be a Qatar corner, so the danger is not yet over for Jordan. And here's Mel Mohamed Ali over there in the penalty area, causing a bit of a nuisance already. Qatar's 6th corner to Jordan's 4. And you've got to say that at least marginally Qatar have been the better team, but Jordan have provided some real moments of quality. That corner certainly wasn't a moment of quality from Qatar, and neither is the... it was looping high, and Al-Muazzali did in fact get a hold on that. And he does have a chance to create something out of potentially nothing, but the Jordan defense pretty much holds firm. And Jordan can now... Can they come away with it? Still some pretty sloppy play from both teams, but this time eventually Jordan do come away with it. Down the right, once again Mohamed Wad having to do some work up against Tamari in the penalty area. And they're claiming a corner. And it will be a goal kick. I think at the end, out of frustration, Tarami ended up inadvertently kicking that beyond play. But Mohamed Wad, once again, outstanding in the left side of defense. Certainly my candidate for man of the match, if only because Akram Afif was starved of pretty much some good service tonight. Kind of harsh to take the award away from the guy who is now the tournament's leading goal scorer. But it is what it is. 5 minutes to go. Jordan 1, Qatar 2. Will there be a change in the scoreline, or will Qatar make history by defending their title and being another host nation to win the Asia Cup? Well, play is being stopped because there is a Qatar defender on the floor. I believe it's Tariq Salman who's on the floor. And a bit of pushing and shoving going on there. We're going to find out what happened. Well, basically, Salman was... Oh, my, that's pretty poor stuff, really, from Al Neymat. And he does, in fact, receive a booking for his pains. I know that Salman was tugging his shirt, but you do not just barge into him like that. And Salman is still on the floor. So just to confirm, So as far as host nations who won the tournament are concerned, South Korea did win it in 1960. Iran won it in 1968. And in 1976. And Kuwait also joined history by winning their first title in 1980. Japan also winning at home in 1992. The United Arab Emirates and China falling short in 96 and 2004. And, well, clearly a lot of discussion over there between Al Naimat and Hatem about the off-the-ball incident. And Salman is still on the floor, and he does look winded, so... And Australia winning it in 2015. So Australia, Japan, Kuwait, Iran twice, and South Korea. Qatar hoping to become the 6th host nation to win the Asia Cup. And the 3rd team to win 2 in a row. And you just imagine that there will be plenty of... the VAR have actually done the check and there is no red card, so the booking seems to be the right call. And it certainly wasn't anywhere near as dangerous and deliberate as Zinedine Zidane's headbutt into Marco Materazzi's chest that fateful day in 2006 in Berlin. Wait a minute, they're still checking, the VAR people. They're thinking it could possibly be violent conduct. Yazan Al-Naimat, the goal scorer, living a charmed life at the moment, but if he does get sent off, then you just imagine that it would be curtains for Jordan. And sadly, the referee is going to his monitor. It looks as though... Oh, boy. Sort of a barge into the into the arm, really, and it does go ahead and wind him. A shoulder barge there, which has in fact been punished in rugby matches for being a pretty poor tackle. So the Chinese referee could possibly be persuaded to change his decision. It would be unfortunate if he does. But, So after checking the play, there is no red card. The check is complete. Yazan Al-Naimat stays on the field. I think it's probably determined that Tariq Salman made a bit of a meal of that. And so in lieu of that ridiculous piece of play, there will be plenty of time added on for stoppages in the end. Yazan, of course, will have a chance to add to his 4 goals in the remaining time tonight. And bear in mind that if Jordan do manage to score an equalizer and Qatar cannot find a late winner, we will go into extra time. But I did, in fact, predict that it would be a tight 2-1 win for Qatar. I don't quite remember what I said in yesterday's preview stream. But I tell you what, this match has provided many terrific moments. I would have to say that Qatar have been marginally the better team in terms of how they were able to build their attacks. But I tell you what, for this spell in the second half, Jordan have literally been electric. And we are into the last minute of normal time. I know that with my stream, of course, being delayed, I do believe that the result could very well be decided before my live transmission ends. But Boalem Kuchi and Nizar al-Rajdan going up there. Rajdan going up there for ball, and I believe it came off Kurkum last. So Saleh, the substitute, with the corner. And that is headed out harmlessly enough, but only to Al-Rawabde, hoping to find a teammate. But Al-Arab's glancing header was never able to find anyone. And believe it or not, there will be 13 minutes of time added on. Enough time for more drama. Tariq Salman, if by your... Ooh, a chance here, though, for Afif to score a hat-trick, maybe. But Abu Laila there coming up trumps. And I do believe that that will not be a penalty. But excellent work there from the Jordan number one. And he sort of collided into Afif, really. But he was clearly going for the ball. Terrific work there. Looked as though, to me, Afif might have been marginally offside. But some great work from Yazid Abu Laila. Or is it? Could that be another penalty? Well, the VAR people are going to look at that, and yes, they are checking a possible penalty. Because just when I thought that Yazid Abu Laila had done a brilliant job of, stopping Afif from scoring, they are checking the penalty. So play will go on regardless, but if there is evidence to suggest that the penalty should be awarded, once again, the referee will go to the monitor. And a third goal, of course, at this particular stage for Qatar will pretty much kill this match off as a contest. So Abdullah Nasib, Mahmoud Al-Mahdi. Could it be Yazid Abu Laila who gives up a penalty? 3 penalties. And the referee saying, calm down, calm down. I'm waiting for the word. Afif doing brilliantly there to take the ball away from Yazid. It might perhaps be harsh to call that a foul, but he is, in fact, now being called to the monitor. Now, he did wave away the sending off for Yazad Al-Naimat. I'm not sure he's going to wave away this penalty, really. Well, Yazid was committed, and it will have to be seen whether he denied Afif a chance for scoring a goal, because I'll tell you what, Afif actually took the ball far away from him with his right foot. He sent it a little bit further away, that there's no real guarantee that he would have scored. So it doesn't technically count as a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity, but Yazid was the last man. So Yazid could be at risk of getting sent off here. We'll have to find out and see. Penalty awarded. Penalty awarded. And so for the third time tonight, Akram Afif has a chance to score yet another penalty. And you can see the Jordanians with their heads in their hands. They know that this could very well be it. And so Abu Laila is really going to have to concentrate. Afif has a chance to score a hat-trick in an Asian Cup final. I will have to find out if that has happened before. And now another substitution. Ali Olwan, who's run his socks off tonight, being taken off to be replaced by the number 25. Anas. Anas Al-Awadat, 25 years old. probably won't add much more time, and Abu Hashish really should have been brought on earlier in the game, but a terrific glancing header there, some poor defensive work from Jordan, this time caught out. Afif was on the run, could have scored, but Abu Layla ended up impeding him. And so for the third time, it's Afif against Abu Layla. Abu Layla standing dead center this time. Does he save it, or does Afif score his hat-trick? Nope. Afif sends the goalkeeper the wrong way. And, well, thank you very much indeed, Chelsea fan. You take care of yourself, and thanks a lot for the updates. And full-time score update, Spurs were, in fact, able to find a winner to go ahead 2-1, and that is, of course, the way it will stay. And if you want to know how long there is until full-time, Hanno, we do have plenty of stoppage time added, but with Akram Afif having scored his third goal, in the 5th minute of stoppage time, you have to think that that will be curtains for Jordan. So, again, whoops. Much better. And you really have to say that this is an anticlimactic end. And Yazid Abu Layla will be thinking tonight was just not our night. But I tell you what, Jordan did provide some wonderful moments of quality, and they can be very, very proud of themselves. Of course, several of these members of the Qatar squad were in the team that won in 2019, beating Japan in the final in the UAE. And this time around, in contrast to the last two penalties where Abu Layla went the right way, this time around he was sent the wrong way. Leapt quite brilliantly, although once again, Afif with a masterful penalty. I really don't know if Yazid would have saved that. And this time with his tongue out, with his dreadlocks shaking from side to side. Hat-trick in the final, a hat-trick of penalties. 8 goals in the tournament. And it really is now a case of damage limitation for Qatar, really. And Afif timed his run brilliantly. It was, in fact, the number 17 for Jordan, Salem Al-Ajalin, who played Afif onside. So, 7 minutes of stoppages remain. Still some time for some drama, if we can stomach that, to be honest. And a poor pass there from Al-Rashdan, not really able to find the teammate. Jordan still have the ball in the middle. Rajab Saleh there, sending it across the field, but the skipper, Ehsan Haddad, not able to control it. And he heads it out for a Qatar throw. And I know that it is a little bit premature, but I am going to start writing a banner or two. Because clearly, after going down 2 goals, 2 penalties at that, you just can't see Jordan coming back from this. And more is the tragedy. And well, disgracefully, believe it or not, my stream has been taken forward. I don't know how. I seriously don't know how. Well, I will, in fact, confirm the result. Because right now, incredibly, we've actually got the Jordanian captain Ehsan Haddad speaking to reporters. So tragically, due to some glitch with the streaming device, I am not able to commentate on the remaining 7 minutes of added time. So I couldn't really tell you if there was any more drama. I will have to, and sadly, more's the pity because there was some wonderful action that took place. Well, Rawab there did in fact have a right-footed shot from outside the box. It just missed to the left. They also had a corner, but Anas Al Awadat, who came on as a substitute with a right-footed shot from the left side of the box, missed to the right following a corner. And credit to Jordan, they did keep fighting. And the match actually went on 17 minutes of time added on. But I'm afraid, sadly for Jordan, it just was not to be. So, the full-time score from the Lusail Stadium, I can confirm. Jordan 1, Qatar 3. Akram Afif putting Qatar ahead with a 22nd minute penalty, only for Yazad Al-Naimat to equalise with a brilliant win in the 67th minute. But a 73rd minute Afif penalty and another Afif penalty in the 5th minute of stoppage time condemned Jordan to a brave yet ultimately futile defeat. And so with this particular win, Qatar are now the 2023 Asian Cup champions. I know this was played in 2024, but it was supposed to be held in 2023. So it's the thing over here. And so another banner here. Qatar are the 6th host nation to win the Asian Cup. And the 3rd to defend their title, following South Korea and Saudi Arabia. And of course, South Korea, Iran, Kuwait, Japan, and Australia have all won the Asian Cup as host nations. Iran, of course, doing it twice in 68 and 76. And sadly, due to technical issues, it is a bit of an anticlimax. And we see Abdulaziz Hatem now speaking to reporters. I'm not too sure that I would be very interested in covering the closing ceremony because I'm not too sure that it would be fair to do that and waste more time because Hanno probably does have a lot of other streams to, do tonight. So I will, of course, end this stream in the next few seconds. So confirmation, Qatar are the 2023 Asian Cup champions. Full time at the Lusail Stadium. It was Qatar 3, Jordan 1. You have to say that Qatar were at least marginally the better team if you were able to watch it, given how more consistent they were with the ball and how much more solid they were defensively. But Jordan, credit to them, they provided some wonderful moments of quality in the game. And you just have to feel, though, that with the penalties conceded, it was defensive naivety at times that was their undoing in the end. But it was a good match to watch, and I'm glad I was able to watch almost all of it and bring it to you. And I'm only sorry that due to technical issues, the streaming meant that it got, skipped over, a lot of pauses as such. It is what it is. But I'd like to thank all of you who've been able to join in the stream. Chelsea fan mainly, who was providing some updates from the Premiership. And I will, in fact, confirm the full-time scores from all around the grounds. Of course, in the next few minutes, Newcastle will be taking on Nottingham Forest at the City Ground, and I'm sure it will be a good time to exit the stream and so that people can start watching that. But Manchester City beating Everton 2-0 at the Etihad Stadium with goals from Erling Haaland coming back into form after not really finding much joy at the G-Tech Stadium. So with that win, City, of course, were all too briefly top of the league. And they still have a game in hand over Liverpool, who played today. Fulham beating Bournemouth 3-1. De Cordova-Reid and Muniz Carvalho with a brace. Marcos Senesi pulling a goal back in the 50th minute, but Carvalho's second, not too long after that, pretty much settled the game as a contest. De Cordova-Reid with a goal and an assist. Willian with the other assist. And it was, in fact, Dominic Solanke who provided the assist. Bournemouth end up in 13th in the table. Fulham have played a game more than them, and they sit above them. But Bournemouth, of course, do still have that game in hand on them. Liverpool beating Burnley 3-1. Diogo Jota giving Liverpool the lead, but Dara O'Shea equalising on the stroke of half-time. Do please excuse me while I get this call. Yes, Diogo Jota, of course, putting them ahead, but Dara O'Shea equalising for Burnley before half-time. But Luis Diaz and Darwin Núñez with goals to put the result beyond doubt. A brave display by Burnley, but in the end, not quite enough for them. And Burnley are still in 19th, above Sheffield United by virtue of goal difference. But Sheffield United doing their cause some good with a fine win over Luton, as we will see right now. Archer and McAtee putting Sheffield United up 2-0 at half-time. Morris scoring a penalty in the 52nd minute, but De Sousa Costa, Vinny De Sousa Costa, scoring the winner 80 minutes from time with a fine finish. And so with this result, Luton do still have a game in hand, and they are still above Everton in the standings in 17th. Thanks, of course, to Everton's defeat earlier today. And Luton will still fancy themselves to stay above the drop zone and potentially avoid relegation. In another game today, Pascal Gross put Tottenham behind. He put Brighton ahead, but it was in fact Sarr who equalised, and then Brennan Johnson with a winner. 6th minute of stoppage time past Jason Steele, and that was that. An impressive comeback win for Tottenham. I think a lot of us predicted that there would be some goals in this game. I predicted a Tottenham win through gritted teeth. And a magnificent win for Brentford at Molineux. Christian Norgard and Ivan Toney on target for the Bees as they sting the Wolves 2-0 on their home turf. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I will, of course, finally say shame on Sports 18 for some absolutely dreadful coverage of the tournament on television. I had to depend on Geo Cinema, which wasn't much better in the final analysis. But, of course, the full-time result, Qatar 3, Jordan 1. Qatar are deservedly, I suppose, the Asian Cup champions for 2023. The 6th host nation to win the Asian Cup, the 3rd to defend their title. And so they make history as the first hosts to win and also defend the AFC Asian Cup. So this is a good period for Qatar, but a lot will be expected of them in the coming months as they attempt to qualify for the 2026 World Cup. And as for Jordan and many of the other teams who took part in this tournament, Several of the teams can go away with their heads held high. A few others will have to lick their wounds and try and focus on the next one in 4 years' time. For now, though, of course, I will say adieu to all of you, and thanks to all of you who joined in the chat. Thanks to all of you who might be watching this on playback. I really am sorry, of course, if you weren't able to get coverage of this due to the short-sightedness, for want of a nicer word, of some broadcasters. But hopefully you will tune in for the review of this tournament coming up next week. But until then, enjoy the rest of Hanno streams, what he will have to offer. Enjoy the rest of the sporting action this weekend. The AFC ON, that is, of course, the CAF African Cup of Nations third place playoff later on tonight, and the final tomorrow, and the rest of the Premiership action to take place tomorrow and also on Monday. Until then, though, from the Coach's Corner, this is me saying don't do anything that I wouldn't do. And for now, I am out. Peace and goodwill to all of you, as always.